This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Leo Inc., Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.
Hello and welcome to this Valentine's Day edition of LCTV News. Thanks for tuning in to the only news broadcast created by Lynners for Lynners, focused solely on events and announcements from the city. This week includes additional grant funding, scores from the hardwood and ice, plus a sit-down with friends of the Lynn Public Library. Let's jump right in with the news for Friday, February 14th, 2025. If you're not awake, you will be after this video, focused on the Rally for Immigrant Rights that took place at City Hall Square the night of the 11th. Close to 100 people gathered, carrying signs with phrases such as "nobody is illegal" and "I like my ice crushed," standing in solidarity for those who are afraid to go to school or even shopping due to increased threats to immigrants.
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do? Show me what democracy looks like! Show me what America looks like! Show me what America looks like! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated! The people united will never be defeated!
My name is Brian Ramos. I'm from El Salvador. I'd like to thank all of you for showing up today, because I think that showing up together is a greater power that we have never been able to take advantage of. We who traveled thousands and thousands of miles to find asylum, a better life, a will to live, because no human is alien.
Because the truth is, without immigrants and their sacrifice, this country that we all call a home would not function.
Because we as Lynners know firsthand the benefits of immigrant communities, so we have an even bigger burden of showing the world of why this is so important. We haven't succeeded as a city in spite of immigrant populations, but because of them. We know diversity isn't a challenge, it's an advantage. And we understand the immigrants are not the problem, but a big part of the solution to what we're facing. We are sending a loud message to the forces there be that this is America and you will not win!
9 Lynn organizations will be sharing $247,000 in grant funding from the Opioid Abatement Settlement Fund to help people in recovery and to combat the opioid crisis. These groups were selected based on recommendations to the mayor's office from the Opioid Working Group. Lysoa and Ruth's Way were awarded the largest pieces at $50,000 each. Lynn Senior Center will see $47,000, the Recovery Exchange, Girls Inc., Comprehensive Treatment Centers, and Mario's Mission will receive $20,000 apiece, while So's City Yoga and Lynn Community Health Center round out the group with $10,000 each. Examples of how these grants will be utilized include Lysoa purchasing a 14-person van to transport youth, Mario's Mission providing women with sober living, and CTC providing medication-assisted treatment for opioid use disorder, to name a few. Lynn Housing Authority and Neighborhood Development is the recipient of an FY09 Lead Hazard Control Grant through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Lead Abatement Program and Healthy Homes. With this grant, LHAND has established the City of Lynn's lead abatement program, used to identify and remedy health and safety hazards in homes. Specifically, this program funds lead paint inspection, abatement, relocation assistance, and compliance certification. If interested, contact LHAND or visit their website to learn more. Immediately following the previously referenced rally, the Mayor's Office held their second annual Mentorship Spotlight and Recruitment event in the foyer of City Hall. Half a dozen organizations showed up to table and provide information about the programs they offer.
We started it off last year. We called it the Mentorship Spotlight, where we wanted to put a spotlight on all the programs that we have in the City of Lynn that provide mentorship to our community. So we tried to do it again this year with the difference that we added a movie called Soul. It's Disney Pixar's Soul, with the theme of mentorship. So we invited all the kids to come on over and watch the movie. And once the movie was over, we had the table set up and ready for anyone who's interested in mentorship or becoming a mentor. Yeah, so we have Raw Arts here, Campfire North Shore. We have Private Jewels Boxing Club. We also have Leap for Learning, and we have the Lynn Museum, among many of them. I think we all need some type of mentorship in our life. We all benefit from it, and we all so benefit from being a mentor and having mentees. So we just had an event in the council office with a bunch of young children, young adults who went off to like nationals in Florida, you know, and it's definitely because they have mentors and they've benefited from having coaches who are there every single day, encouraging them to give their best. So, you know, that's what we want to see in our community. That's what we definitely need, but it's also what our kids deserve. So having these programs are so important because it brings light to all the already amazing programs that our city has. And if for some reason somebody hasn't seen it or isn't aware of it, this is where they can find out and learn a little bit more. And who knows, maybe they feel a little contagious and want to become a mentor themselves.
Last week, we reported on the arrest of Eric Jermaine Pena for allegedly killing the owner of Crazy Buzzies. He was arraigned in Lynn District Court on February 6th and is currently being held without bail. As an added layer, Jermaine Pena was found to be an illegal immigrant from the Dominican Republic. On Monday, February 10th, ICE Boston released a statement that they lodged an immigrant detainer against Jermaine Pena. This is a request from ICE that asks a federal, state, or local law enforcement agency to notify the requesting agency as early as possible before they release an illegal immigrant. As stated on their website, it also requests the immigrant be held for up to 48 hours beyond when they would originally be released, so the Department of Homeland Security has time to assume custody in accordance with federal immigration law. According to ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations Boston Acting Field Officer Director Patricia H. Hyde, quote, "We intend to take Jermaine Pena into ICE custody after he has paid his debt to society," end quote. Come on down the runway for a fashion show at the Lynn Senior Center, featuring clothing from a variety of countries, ranging from Africa to the islands to right here in the United States. Models and spectators alike were all smiles for this event celebrating the diverse culture Lynn has to offer.
The Lynn Senior Center held their third annual Black History Month fashion show on February 12th.
In honor of Black History Month, we're happy to present these ladies who have put their time and effort into giving you a show today.
Public Health Director Elisa Tobin was the MC and gave a little background on each piece.
Her outfit has been made by her sister Jeanette. The sheen appearance of this cotton African print brings out the unique print of the fabric. The pinky color represent royalty and are worn on special occasions. This cloth originated from West Africa and is still worn in Ghana. We have Eben, a princess from the Yoruba tribe of Nigeria, evidenced by the sash worn on a specific side and accessorized with a headpiece and fan.
Each model wore clothing that spoke to them and honored their roots, representing Nigeria, Jamaica, West Africa, and more.
We say so much with our clothes. We express so much about ourselves, who we are, and where we're from by what we wear. And it's wonderful to see everybody sharing that with us today.
A dozen models walked down the runway, providing Lynn seniors with a show that was visually and culturally varied. For LCTV, I'm Riley.
Over the past several months, the City of Lynn has been conducting a comprehensive rewrite of its citywide zoning ordinance. Spearheaded by the Zoning Working Group, composed of representatives from the Planning, Law, and Inspectional Services Departments, the Planning Board, the Zoning Board of Appeals, EDIC Lynn, the Mayor's Office, and the City Council. They created a survey about community priorities for the new zoning laws, conducted interviews with frequent zoning code users, and analyzed existing data through a zone audit. The code they created now aligns better with Vision Lynn, supports high-quality development, and preserves what is already working in the community. And as of February 13th, the draft zoning code was officially released and open for public comment. Residents are encouraged to read the draft, check out the corresponding map, and leave their feedback. In 2012, 24-year-old Ned Kavanagh ended her own life. Her family were devastated, but they transformed this pain into the creation of the Nan Project in 2016. According to her family, Nan struggled with mental health from a young age, eventually being diagnosed with OCD, anxiety, and depression. But their lack of education surrounding mental health made them realize that many young people do not have an understanding of mental health or the challenges surrounding it. Enter the Nan Project, which travels to schools all over Massachusetts, and as of 2025, Lynn will be one of them. They are looking to get involved in LPS using Lynn Classical as a starting point. This program trains youth to become mentors and educates them about mental health, with the ultimate goal being to bring down some of the stigma. Last year, the family presented to over 12,000 students, and they are looking to do more this year. When you have two powerhouse teams, expect a battle. And that is exactly what happened Friday night when St. Mary's girls basketball took down Bishop Feehan 63-61. With a minute remaining, the Spartans were up 59-55, but Feehan nailed a three-pointer to get within one. From there, Bella Awumi was fouled and nailed both free throws, but the Shamrocks tied the game up with 7 seconds remaining. Off the inbound, Lily Norton drove to the basket, scoring on a floater as the buzzer sounded. Better yet, St. Mary's secured the Catholic Central League title with this win. No late-game theatrics were necessary as they steamrolled Acton Boxborough by 34 points, 73-39 on Tuesday night. They then fell to the top seed in Division II, Medford, 57-53 the night of the 13th. On senior night, the Rams gave theirs something to cheer about, taking down Everett 50-37. By halftime, 13-5 Classical was up 27-15 before sealing the deal in the second half. They ran into trouble against Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical Easton, falling by a score of 53-21. Tech girls lost 51-21 to the Minutemen on the 10th, but they rebounded, picking up their 12th and 13th wins on the season, beating Northeast Metro 47-24 and Kip Academy 47-19. Against Kip, offensive versatility was on full display, led by Angeles Bigham with 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 steals. As of the 11th, the postseason-bound Tigers are ranked 44th in Division IV MIAA power rankings. While the English girls have officially qualified for the playoffs, securing their 10th win of the season in dramatic fashion, running over Chelsea 81-45. They started off slow before going on a run to end the first quarter up 21-9, courtesy of several second chance points. By halftime, this lead had stretched to 42-17 margin. Senior captain Amara Flores scored a game-high 33 points on her own. Tack on another 20, split evenly between 2 additional seniors, and no one was stopping this team. Essex Tech had their number, defeating the Bulldogs 60-25 on the 11th. On the road, English boys fell to Cambridge Ridge and Latin 71-60. They suffered a tough 74-73 loss to Brockton the night of the 11th. At 8-9, they are running out of runway to hit the 10-win playoff qualifying mark. Kip also found themselves on the losing end of an overtime battle with Shawsheen Tech 57-53 on the 10th. After a 2-7 start, the Tigers won 6 straight, most recently 75-51 against Greater Lowell Tech on the 7th. Giovanni Jean scored 19 while dishing out 8 assists. 3 additional Lynn Tech players scored in the double digits to contribute to the win. But Greater Lowell put an end to the streak in a tight 41-32 contest. 20-0 and undefeated in league play. That sums up the Spartans' season as they captured the Catholic Central League crown off a 73-69 victory over Bishop Fian. J.J. Martinez and Jake Fortier broke the 20-point mark with 23 and 20 points respectively. They followed this up with a 69-55 victory over East Boston the night of the 10th. A 7-0 run jolted the Spartans' offense to life against a Boston team utilizing a more aggressive offensive approach. Devin Pample tacked on 16 points, but the highlight of the game was Martinez netting his 1,000th point of the year. Headed into the game, he only needed 11 more, and he finished the game with 30. Martinez hit nothing but net on a 3-pointer to add his name to the history books. He was also the hero for St. Mary's, or villain, according to a packed Newburyport High School, hitting the game-winning layup at the buzzer to beat the Clippers 62-60 on the 12th. While the 10th-ranked St. Mary's boys hockey team were bested by second-ranked St. John's Prep 4-1 the night of the 12th. While their girls routed Bishop Fenwick 5-0 behind Alyssa Norton's first-ever hat trick. Avery Sicko recorded the shutout for the Spartans. Jason Tatum has been putting on a clinic, posting 105 points for the Celtics in their last 3 games. In a 131-104 victory over the New York Knicks, he contributed 40, with 5 additional players scoring in the double digits, including an impressive 25-point night by Peyton Pritchard. As a team, Boston scored at least 30 points in every quarter, getting off to an 11-point lead by the end of one, which they would never relinquish. Tatum contributed 33 more to help hoist Boston over the Miami Heat 103-85. Al Horford added a double-double, 16-point, 10-rebound night. They hosted and bested the San Antonio Spurs 116-103, moving to 5.5 games back from first place. Tatum posted a double-double, 32-point, 14-rebound night. If you travel along Lynn Common, you've seen the architecturally unique building that houses the public library. Stepping inside, you will find a blend of traditional and modern styles, holding space not just for books, but computers, community events, and more. The president and VP for Friends of the Lynn Public Library joined Riley on the Lowdown to discuss their role in helping the library thrive.
Welcome to the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Riley, filling in for Dani this week. And today we have on the Friends of the Lynn Public Library to talk about some of their membership efforts and fundraising efforts. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So this is Lindsay, the president, and Jen, the vice president of the Friends. Would you guys be able to just let us know how you guys got involved and anything else?
Sure, I'll start. So I've been a staff member at the Lynn Public Library for 13 years. I got involved with the Friends a little bit when I found out about the Friends. I have a background in events and program planning, so I wanted to get involved that way. So kind of as like a staff volunteer, I started joining that, and then once we started to revitalize our group, I kind of stepped up and took on the role of acting vice president, just in an interim time, just to get the group going again. And then I was elected president at our previous election.
And I liked going to the library. I'm actually not even from Lynn. I live in Swampscott, but you don't have to be from Lynn to love the library. And not just the building, but the community in the library. I really just enjoyed being there. One day there was a craft program. I think we were making coasters, and it looked really good. All their craft programs are amazing. I try to go to all of them. And so this was the first one I went to. And while I was there, I mentioned that I do fundraising for my job. And immediately, Nicole, who's on staff and was running this coaster thing, was like, yeah, forget about the coasters. We need you on Friends. And I was elected vice president roughly 20 minutes later.
So earlier when I made the joke of come in for a craft, leave as vice president, you literally were not kidding.
Quite literally, yeah.
Did you even finish the craft?
Nicole made it pretty clear that the crafts were not important. That was just a ruse to get in people who make the mistake of saying, oh, I enjoy raising money. And I'm so glad to be on it. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I got to the first meeting, and I've been on boards before, and I thought, these people are like, they're just delightful, and I love this library. I'm like, yeah, if they want to let me be on, I would love to be a part of this. So it's been great. It's been terrific so far. Mm-hmm.
So the Friends of the Library have been around for about 40 years now. What exactly is it that the Friends does? Like, what is the main purpose of it?
So the main purpose of the Friends is to basically promote the efforts of the library and also to fundraise to supplement the municipal budget. So, when we're just figuring out what the library is going to spend money on, programming generally falls to the back of that. Books and other technology and things like that tend to be in the forefront. Plus, with the municipal budget, just paying staff and having the building open. So what the Friends do, for the most part, is raise funds that goes mostly directly to programming. So anytime you have like crafts, that is funded by the Friends. If we have snacks at a program, that's funded by the Friends. And then most of the time that we have a paid presenter at the library, it's funded by the Friends.
It's a great way. I mean, yes, we definitely need the monetary support, but it's also a great way to get involved. And small donations make such a big difference. It feels like when I first started, you give just a little bit of money, and then you have these events. You're like, oh, this is great. It's such a great way to meet other people, and I didn't have to make some like crazy donation I couldn't afford. Like it's a great way to participate, really, in the library. Mm-hmm.
So what exactly are the benefits to becoming a member of the Friends of the Library, and like how does somebody become a friend of the library?
And interested members, or it can be anybody, patrons or just community members, whether you use the library or not, all you have to do is fill out a membership form. We have them available at the library. They're also available for download or printing from the website. There are several tiers of membership. You can be a friend for as little as $10 a year. You can be a good friend for $20 to $50 a year, or you can be a best friend for anything, a donation of over $50 a year. Our membership year starts in September, so that's when we start to do renewals, but you can sign up to be a friend anytime during the year. So anybody who's interested, like I said, getting involved in the community, we have several committees within the Friends. We have a fundraising committee, we have a volunteer committee, so it's a good chance for if people are looking to meet other people, like-minded people who enjoy the library, to come together and volunteer their time and kind of create our own little community within the library community. But yeah, anybody can join and at any time.
So do you guys have like special friends-only events? Like, what other benefits do people have to become a member of the Friends?
So part of our revitalization, we are working out some benefits. I can mention, like previously, the library used to charge like a fee for discount museum passes because the Friends fund those. That's another part of the aspect of the Friends other than just programming. So the library offers discount museum passes to like the Aquarium, Museum of Science, Children's Museum, a variety of museums. The Friends pay for those memberships, so that's who funds those. We used to charge like $2 for one of the coupons, but we stopped charging that a while ago. Initially, the Friends would not have to pay for those. We don't currently have any specific benefits other than being part of the Friends and being a part of supporting the library, but we're working out.
But you've got your listserv. I mean, we've got a listserv just of the Friends, how we contact the Friends, and that's a great way to find out everything going on at the library. So you don't have to, rejoin whatever social media you just got off of because you can't handle it anymore. No problem. You're on our listserv. I honestly think that's one of the best benefits is that you know every program, and there's so many. Like any fun thing that they're doing, Lindsay and the rest of the staff come up with the best stuff. They've got a club where you read the book and then you also watch the movie of that book and sort of talk about like which one you like better and how they were different and so forth. Like obviously we have a million craft ideas. I'm going to the Sip and Stitch, which is new. I've got this thing I'm embroidering. I mean, it's really good stuff. But if I wasn't on the listserv as a member, I might miss it. I might not know what's going on. So being involved is kind of the big benefit. It's like keeping you in the loop is kind of what you get out of it.
Because with the library, we don't have like a newsletter or email blast type of thing, mostly for privacy reasons. You'd have to opt into that. But kind of the way to opt into that is to join the Friends of the Library, and then monthly you'll get an email that tells you what's coming up for the library, what you can sign up. So kind of in a way you get notified and kind of get like first dibs on programming to sign up. But we are working out some other benefits that we can try to work out specifically for Friends.
And we've talked a few times about different programs that have occurred at the library over the years, mostly the crafts and the arts, but there's also like educational and cultural programming too that you guys run, and all of that is also funded by the Friends, correct? Mm-hmm. So what are some of those programs?
You've got the program where folks can come in and a professional looks over your resume and helps you get back into the job market if that's something you're interested in doing. That's one that I see on the listserv.
It really sometimes it's hard to decipher. A lot of times we do get things for free. The libraries staff sign up for free type programs. I would say culturally, we actually, one thing that the Friends definitely have funded in the past is Delvina Theater Company coming in and doing a production. They're extremely popular on the North Shore, especially among the library circuit. Anytime they come in, you get at least 40 to 50 people to come into that program. And they do a huge variety of different types of performances. One thing we had talked about was like there's a Julia Child program that they do. We just recently had a Lizzie Borden mock trial type production, which was wildly popular. People loved it. That was very specifically funded by the Friends. Actually, it was funded directly from a donation from Tom DeMarcus. He made a significant donation to the Friends of the Library that was divided among the three major departments: children's, young adult, and adult. And that's what the adult department chose to purchase with their portion of that donation. And from that, people signed up to be members of the Friends and made just donations at that event. So the events kind of feed themselves, but that's definitely one of the arts and cultural type programs that the Friends have funded in recent times.
Yeah.
And we talked before, in April you guys do have a couple of things happening.
Yes.
So the first want to touch on is the annual meeting. So what is that?
So the annual meeting for the Friends is just one meeting that any member can attend. We kind of talk about the state of the organization, I guess, at that point in time. It's also when we will hold an election. Elections are held every 2 years. So we just had an election this past April. So we won't have an election this coming April. But it is a time.
That was my first meeting too. Yeah. It's a perfect time because it's open to the public. The annual meetings are always open to the public, and I got to sit down and sort of be a part of it. And if I had thought, oh, this isn't really for me, no harm, no foul. But it was more like, this is really fun, and I wouldn't have even known about this if somebody hadn't said, oh, it's the annual meeting. Just come and sit in and see what we're doing.
Yeah, it's a great time to learn more about the Friends and kind of see if it's going to be the right fit for you if you want to be a member or serve on the board. You know, in the future, we're always looking for potential new board members because we don't generally re-elect. We always try to look to put somebody else in place in each position.
And then the other big thing in April we were talking about before is the 125th anniversary of the building that the library is in.
Yes.
And you guys have some stuff planned. I know not everything is totally concrete yet, but any details you want to share?
Plans are in the works. We're definitely putting together a large-scale celebration. It will be a concerted effort between library staff, the trustees of the library, and the Friends. So we're going to come together as a group and make a plan on how we plan to celebrate it. But we do think that there's going to be some sort of fundraising aspect for the Friends so that money can go back towards programming in the library itself.
I mean, we've already had some Easter eggs we've put out there for the folks who are paying attention, like for our craft fair. We had these new tote bags with the building imprinted on them. I think we had some ornaments with the building on them too, or maybe some paperweights. Yes. So we were sort of like throwing out little clues, like we're about to celebrate this really cool building. You know, get your tote bag while you still can, kind of thing. But we're definitely gonna have a celebration closer to April.
And so going forward too, you guys are going to be looking to raise money for these programs and everything. So what fundraising efforts are you guys looking into doing? If people want to just donate, maybe they don't want to become a friend for whatever reason, but they want to still just donate directly or anything like that.
Which is so helpful. Like a lot of our events, like for example, the craft fair, if you came, and maybe you bought something, they were selling all sorts of different things, including ornaments. It was right before Christmas. But if you came and you bought something, that was supporting us. And you're also supporting local artists, and you're also getting something really cool, like a Fluff-N-Utter handbag. And like there were just so many cool things. So it's sort of like a win-win-win. We did try to do another Touch a Truck event earlier last year for the kids. The kids there's so many programs at the library for kids, but this was going to be an event where they could, some of the younger kids could come and touch like fire trucks and other first responder trucks, which I guess they're really psyched for. Unfortunately, the weather did not.
We had no rain, and then the day of the Touch Truck it rained.
Yeah, of course.
It was depressing, but that's the kind of stuff where it's not just, you know, hey, come and please support us. It's like, hey, do this really fun thing with your kid, or hey, come here and buy a gorgeous watercolor of the orange dinosaur on Route 1. You know, like it's fun for the stuff we do is just fun for everyone.
Yeah. So we don't have anything on the calendar at the moment, but we are going to get together our fundraising committee to plan our next big fundraiser. But so far, we've had an annual craft fair during the end of the fall, beginning of the winter, which has worked out really wonderful. We have an ongoing book sale, so there's always a table of books available for sale at the library. The proceeds from that book sale go directly to the Friends. Also, proceeds from our copy machine go to the Friends. So if you come into the library and use the copy machine, that money goes directly to the Friends. We also have some light office supplies available. So if you come in to do some sort of business at the library, faxing, printing, whatever, you can buy a folder that goes directly to the Friends. So there's always some sort of fundraising effort kind of going on. We absolutely accept cash and check donations if you don't want to become a member. But membership is really as involved as you want to. We have many members who just pay the annual due, and that's as involved as they are. So the next year comes around, we send out a renewal letter, they send in some money, and then that's as involved as they want to be. And that is completely fine. We absolutely welcome those members. And then you have members who want to be a little more involved. So even if you don't think you want to be a member, you could still be a member and get an email that tells you about what programs are coming up, and that's all you have to do. But of course, any just donations without becoming a member are certainly welcome.
I also want to say that I want to assure people who are thinking about becoming members, we are desperately trying to join the 21st century before it ends, and we've made real strides to just getting PayPal or Venmo, and the universe has really thrown a lot of obstacles in our way, but we're almost there. We're almost ready to accept money as
virtually somehow, digitally.
Yes, we're getting there.
Yeah, but as of now, cash and checks are certainly accepted.
So we do need to wrap up now, but just lastly, for you guys, if you could just tell people why you think it's important to support the library as a whole, what the value is in the library and becoming a member of the Friends.
Can I start with that? Because it's on the tip of my brain. It's cold lately. It's so cold. It's the cold.
I feel it in my bones. It's not fun.
It's like the 2 weeks in winter that like are really like rip your face off cold, because it's always the wind, right? My skin is so dry. And I find that just I've got all different kinds of friends and people in my life, and all of them will be like, oh, it's cold, and then say, yeah, I wish I could help folks around here. Normal people have a sense of community. I think 99% of the folks here in Lynn and the wider area, you've got that little thing in your head that says, I hope people aren't too cold. Or especially with kids, you're like, I hope kids have all the mittens they need. It's just something. The Lynn Public Library is a community center. There's so much that happens there, and it takes so little to help folks who come there and actually have a few needs that would make big difference to them, to take one of these programs that's really helpful to them, or to bring their kids to this other program and have a half hour where they can sit down and clear their head. And it takes so little to help other people in your community and just be there for them. And this is the easiest portal for that, in my opinion. You walk in and it's so great, because mostly I just want a place where people will be quiet so I can do whatever on my phone. But as you're there, you're thinking, boy, it is cold outside. And then you think, yeah, doesn't the Lynn Library provide X, Y, and Z for people? And all you have to do is go up to one of the librarians and say, hey, I'd like to be just a member for $10, or I wonder if I could buy some of those pencils or something. I just find it's a really easy way for us to be in community with each other.
I can't say much more than that.
I was like, you want to follow it up or just leave it?
No.
We could just leave it. Because you're right. I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head there, too. Like, the library has slowly kind of become more of a community center.
Yeah, much more than books.
It's not
for
books
sure.
anymore.
Right.
And a lot of people still think it is books.
It is.
They do.
But it's more than books now.
Yeah.
It absolutely
Way more
is.
than books, for sure.
So definitely feel free to reach out to them, check them out. The link has been at the bottom of the screen multiple times. Go to the library's website, there it is now. Find out more about them, email them, get involved, get down there. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yeah,
Thank you for having
Thanks for
us.
having us.
Right, that's it for this edition of the Lynn Lowdown. I'm Riley. Thanks for watching.
Brown Bag Monthly Markets take place on the first Saturday and third Friday of each month, with the next one occurring on Friday the 21st. This is a program that distributes free bags of groceries twice a month to residents in partnership with the Boston Food Bank. The program is open to all Lynn, Swampscott, Nahant, Saugus, and Linfield residents. There are no age or income limits and no application process. Simply sign up over the phone or in person, occurring from 9 to 11 a.m. at 8 Silsby Street. Head down to galleries at Lynn Arts for an immersive audiovisual journey by Soundscape Visions on February 22nd. Beginning at 7:30 p.m., the theme this year is Dark Water, and will take the audience through a series intertwining video art, social commentary, and landscapes. In a further twist, artwork submitted by people in the community will also be included. Tickets are now available for purchase for this unique event. For music lovers, walk down the hall that same night. There will be a Beats from the Vault Producers Showcase from 7 to 11 p.m. Taking place down the hall from Gala at the Vault, Beats on the Beach is teaming up with the Lynn Music Foundation, where producers will showcase their work live for the audience before participating in a panel discussion. Whether you are a music lover, aspiring producer, or passionate about beat making, this is the event for you. It is free, but registration is highly recommended. On that dramatic note, we have reached the final chord of this newscast. Like what you see? Visit LHAND for all episodes of the LCTV News, member content, and our complete community calendar. Keep your ear to the pulse of the city by following us on social media at Lynn Community TV for announcements and updates in real time. If your focus is videos, then Lynn Community Television is the place for you. I'm Dani Vittori, this is LCTV News, and we will see you next week.
This episode of the LCTV News is brought to you by Leo Inc., Daolis Brothers Construction, and King Movers and Storage.
Time for the speed round, starting off with a surge from the Immigrant Rights Rally and Mentorship event. Grants continue to come from all sides to a dozen Lynn organizations. Okay. Finished off with some in-depth dive into the 125-year history of the Lynn... Nope, I'm doing that again. Finished off with an in-depth dive into the 125-year history of the Lynn Public Library by current workers. Put a bow on it and wrap it up like a Valentine's Day gift, because that is all for today. As always, watch this week's full news episode at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. or watch anytime by visiting lyntv.org/news.